close your eyes for a minute and go with me in my story. Imagine yourself walking along a riverside and all of a sudden you stop by and you see Knowledge Center. You get very, very curious, you walk inside. You see a couple of trenches next to each other filled with macroplastics. Plastics conducted out of the river itself. How do these plastics come in this Knowledge Center and what are we going to do with it? First of all, in these trenches are only macroplastics. Why macroplastics? Because at this moment it's too difficult to catch the microplastics. But what's very good about these trenches is you've got different trenches next to each other. So at the moment the research and monitoring data is available. You can actually conduct the microplastics in these trenches. You can either try monitoring microplastics with the eating bacteria, I forgot the name, but they were found in Fukushima, or for example with mussels. So that's very interesting about this Knowledge Center. Kids can walk there, kids can play there, kids know how what kind of plastics are actually in the water. But how are these macroplastics conducted in the research center? For that I would ask you to open your eyes again and see our solution, the plastic-free Willy. Our plastic-free Willy is a floater, existing floater, which are already at the grips in the rivers. It rotates with the water movement. This prototype doesn't. But you need to imagine that the water, maybe we can show this picture. You see it? Yeah. You can see the water moving in the river. Just think about this is the IJssel, but you can use it for every river itself. Water moves with all the plastics, and plastics got the eigenschap, property to move to the sides. The propeller will catch it and brings it into the trenches. And that's what the story I told you furthermore. The nice thing is it's a floater, you can even have ducks on it or whatever and make it a nice ecosystem.
Thank you. I think we finally found the answer against PowerPoint presentations. Just ask the people to close their eyes. It was so brilliant, the solution. Very good. Thank you for the presentation.
It's just a question how many people actually closed
their eyes. Who played foul play? I saw very many people with their eyes closed. Who didn't have their eyes closed? See how many this?
I know, I'm very nice to look at.
Yeah. All right. For you. Now I'm a bit worried about some shameful photos of myself. All right. Who wants? Yeah? Yeah, I heard you too many times already.
I want to work in this research knowledge center that you are talking about. But what is the type of knowledge that you, as a developer, want to have back?
From the plastics?
No, from this knowledge center.
It has a couple of parts. It's to reach more awareness by the people itself, like what kind of plastics are in the river, how can we avoid putting them in, because you actually look at the trench and think, oh my god, that's so much waste actually in it, and you want to reduce that, of course. That's one of the aspects, getting kids into the knowledge when we need to put it in bins or whatever. The other side is actually the research you can conduct in the trenches, like doing analysis on the particles, maybe with DNA techniques or something like that, or maybe have parallel trenches next to each other and hope that one you put some mussels in and bacteria to see what happens, and by the time we have actually the technologies to identify microplastics, you can use it because we can see and sample if there are microplastics in one and the other.
So you would like to incorporate a kind of treatment within this sampler?
Yeah.
In the end, microbiological treatment or by UV?
Yeah, I think that's very interesting to have a look at because you could conduct the microplastics and you will have a lot of microplastics on that specific place.
I'm not famous for anything, but how are you getting the microplastics out of the water? How does it work?
Yeah, we have. Oh, we already expected that question, but we had only 4 minutes. So,
Yes.
so basically, that's true. So basically, what happens is the propeller will lead the microplastics in the trench. The trench is a little bit lower than the surface water because it's artificial made. On the bottom of the trench, you have a specific system. We're all biologists, so we don't really have the idea if it's actually going to work. We hope to discover that in the 2 days. Is that you have an uplifting platform. You get the platform will lift up when there are enough microplastics on it. Then it will angle a bit, and it goes into a different unit. That different unit can be collected by 3D makers or something like that.
What other questions did you expect and what was the rest of your presentation?
No, furthermore, we just hope to have a lot of help in the next 2 days to fine-tune this idea because it's not perfect yet, but we think actually that this will be the proper solution. And not other.
Okay, you don't lack confidence. Very good. Mr. Willy, thank you, brilliant idea. I'm looking forward to the prototype in the 10th and 11th of June.